Which tarot deck is the best? 78 Tarot Mythical versus the Ostara Tarot. Here is a look at the two different boxes, and we're going to talk about the author, artist, publisher, then look at the packaging, the cards, the artwork, and then a final comparison for each of these two decks. And I photographed them, and I'm just kind of chatting in my room in an informal way. So these are actually my decks. This one has a this deck, the 78 Tarot Mythical, I found on Etsy after finding some of these cards on Instagram, which I loved because they're illustrated by 78 different artists, and she has a bunch of different themes. This one happens to be mythical. I like the mythical one because I'm into all the different mythological characters. And I love that the box, as you open it up, has all these different signatures in it. The book and the cards all fit inside the box. It's got a lot of gold foil, which I like. And I just think it's very beautiful, as are all the editions of them, which I'd like to collect. Here we're just looking at a couple different cards. The artist's name is on the card, as well as the name of the card itself. The gold foil is present on the front of the card as well, which is kind of unique. So you have foil on the front and the back. You might imagine this is on the higher end of the price scale. It also came with a cloth, which I'm not featuring here, but that was one of the things. And then this is a detail, just kind of a close-up look at the quality of the printing and the cards, which is really nice. The cards are sort of like a semi-gloss finish. They're not matte, but they're not glossy, and they're very thick. The book is, like I said, sort of special because you've got information from the artist, from the author, and then also the mythological association, which is very cool. And here you can see there's a color picture. You don't see the full card. You see kind of like a cropped image of the card with the descriptions, but that's pretty cool. All right, so flipping over to the Ostara Tarot. Ostara is sort of a witch reference, if you don't know that, and the main image here on the front is the High Priestess. This one features 4 different artists, and I found it while looking for a deck up in Northern California at a metaphysical store. And it's from the RedFeather Publishing company, so a little bit more of a mass-produced product, I'm sure. The 4 different illustrators, they've got little pictures on the inside of the cover and a little story about how they met in art school, and they have kind of this shared interest in Wicca, which is a theme throughout the deck, is animals and nature, and Ostara is kind of like a spring holiday for that pagan stuff. What's unique about the cards is that although they have the number on the card, they don't have the suit on the card. So you do have to actually look at the image and maybe even look it up in the guidebook to discern if it's a cup or a wand or a sword. And they do have non-traditional imagery. So there's that difference there. This card here and all the cards have a very shiny, smooth finish on them, which makes them slightly more reflective of the light. And they're also easier to shuffle because the deck is a little bit smaller. The other ones, the cardstock ones, you really can't shuffle at all. The book is really nice. It's bigger because it's not the same size as the cards. It's twice the size of the cards. There's not as much text, but it's laid out in a really beautiful way. And, you can sit down and read this book on its own, too. You get the basic kind of keywords, an upside down or reversed interpretation as well. So here are the two decks next to each other as we're reaching the end of this comparison. You see the back and the front and a couple different illustrations. If you know anything about tarot, these are kind of a nice pairing, the Page of Cups with the Three of Swords here. So the answer to the question, which tarot deck is best, is always going to be both. Hope you have enjoyed the video here, and please subscribe if you want to see more.